Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys my final recap and impressions on Yuki Yuna wa Yuusha de Aru Washio Sumi no Shou, or you can call it Yuki Yuna is a hero of the Washio Sumi chapter on episode 6. This episode literally became a giant relation, or the series in general became a giant relation to the original first season of Yuki Yuna. Those of you guys who watched the original season of the first season, that is, if you guys know what I'm talking about, would know where I am making connections with. So if anything else, let's go. We have to it that Nogi Sonoko and Washi Sumi, I believe, ends up going through some kind of ritual in exchange that it will help them out much more, and they get these familiars at their side. And apparently these familiars are pretty cool. They're not too bad. Of course, this ritual and power thing that they are granted, etc., is gonna come in real handy, as one of the servants of Shinju-sama tells them. But apparently, only the parents know the real truth, and apparently, it is revealed later when one of their parents says they're just gonna be sacrifices. Is that what you're trying to tell me, etc.? And it's very cruel. Even one of their parents said so, and they actually know the truth behind the system while they were not informed at all. Aside from that, of course, they go back to their daily routine. The two heroines, Nogi Sonoko and Washi Sumi, eventually they end up finding the vertexes again, and three of them are big and giant, and of course they gain new uniforms and new powers. Well, with the exception of Nogi Sonoko, because she's still using a spear, while Washi Sumi uses her gun, etc. That's a new weapon that's replaced by the bow. So yeah. Aside from that, they do fight the vertexes and they do get overwhelmed. So apparently they somehow end up using Monkai form, which is pretty much subtitled, I think, All Out. And they end up managing to take care of two vertexes, no problem. But after their limit has been used, after the time limit is up in their Monkai form, they end up having to lose a part of the function of their body. Like, the first time they went Monkai form, Washi Sumi lost use of her legs, and while Nogi Sonoko lost vision on her right eye, which really, really sucked. And apparently, of course, Nogi Sonoko gets a realization of what happened eventually. And they end up taking on the final giant vertex, but apparently, of course, Washi Sumi ends up having to use Monkai form the second time and leaves the rest to Sogi Nonoko after taking care of a big giant fireball that the vertex launched. Eventually, Nogi Sonoko manages to stop it, but she ends up following it to a certain location where the little thingamabobbers, I don't know what they are, I've forgotten them. Whatever is happening to them, it looks like the vertexes are being reformed. Even Nogi Sonoko realizes this and tries to inform Washi about this. But the moment she tries to tell her, Washi's like, "Who are you?" And it looks like to me, after using Monkai form the second time, she lost her memory. So Nogi Sonoko decides to tell her that, "Don't worry, we're like best friends, you know? I'll leave the rest to me, okay? I got this." And therefore, she ends up taking on more than 10 vertexes, possibly, at least over 10 at least, and went Monkai form once more, and everything turns into a bright light white. And as for Washi herself, she gets picked up in a hospital and later on gets moved into a new home, etc. And she ends up being introduced by Yuki Yuna, which this is related to what's to happen in the sequel of the series, which is the first original Yuki Yuna, etc. Of course, as for Nogi Sonoko, which I won't explain much here, I'm pretty sure those guys who watched the episode and might have watched the original first Yuki Yuna series 3 years ago, at least, yeah, I think it came out around 2014, if anything, would understand what exactly happened to Nogi Sonoko. Actually, it's already shown in this episode right here, so you already have an idea of a clue. Not to mention the post-credit scene shows about some blank sentences like saying continuing to fight while blanking your body for Shinju-sama. But you know, I thought it's a wonderful thing, but my parents were crying so bad, etc. I guess now you are blank-san, and then like I'm glad it affected you less than it did to than it did to me in a certain case, and it ends off there. So this episode literally made a giant relation to the original Yuki Yuna first season. Those of you guys who watched the original first season of Yuki Yuna that aired like, let me see here, 3 years ago, etc., would know like what exactly happened and how much this series is a big connection to the original first season. Of course, there is one thing in particular I need to let you guys know is that, like, there is a sequel to the original first season of Yuki Yuna wa Yuusha de Aru, or Yuki Yuna is a hero, because, like, apparently, those of you guys who've been keeping up with, like, certain research about Yuki Yuna is a hero, you understand that there is something called Yuki Yuna is a hero, the hero chapter, which is the sequel to the original first season of Yuki Yuna as a hero. So right here was the prequel to Yuki Yuna is a hero, Washio Sumi chapter. I'm pretty sure those of you guys who watched the original Yuki Yuna as a hero will understand. I know I'm very confusing right now. What I'm trying to tell you, what you all watched, that's if you even watched it, this right here was a prequel to the first season of Yuki Yuna is a hero. And what I'm trying to say is that there's a sequel to the original first season, Yuki Yuna is a hero, and that is called Yuki Yuna is a hero, the hero chapter. So, yeah, I know it sounds a little confusing. Like I said, the Washio Sumi chapter is the prequel to the first season, and then the first season is going to have a sequel that's going to come out this month, very soon. Hopefully next week or so. Who knows? But, yeah, this prequel series, the Washio Sumi chapter, actually makes a lot of sense. And to let you know, I forgot a little small detail here and there, that Washi ends up having her name changed to Togo Memori. So, yeah. Talk about, like, a crazy prequel series of why the Mankai forms were created in the first place, etc. I think it's already shown in this series already of why it was created. Those of you guys who don't follow up and don't pay attention, well, this is how it is. Anyways, there is a sequel to the first season of Yuki Yuna is a hero, the original series that is, and that is called the hero chapter, which will come out possibly this month and then air all the way till December, I believe. So I'm gonna hopefully, like, it comes out pretty good, and depending how it goes, it could, who knows. Anyways, what I'm thinking, my thoughts on this series, I thought it was pretty cool to see the prequel of this series and how it makes so much sense of why, like, this was made, etc., and how much it became a relation to the first season of Yuki Yuna original. So that was pretty good. What's my score about this thing? I say 6 to 7 out of 10, since it made a lot of sense and it's connected to the original Yuki Yuna series and why this system was created in the first place. So until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. So I'm Alpha Zero, people. Have a good day. I'll be sure to see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toodaloo!